The Indianapolis crowd was already roaring, but what happened on the Fever bench made even longtime WNBA fans hit rewind on the footage. Cameras caught Caitlin Clark brushing past Stephanie White after another heated exchange. Now fans are exploding online with one question. Did Caitlin finally reach her breaking point? This didn't look like a standard disagreement anymore. This looked personal. If you've been following the Fever closely lately, you know this tension has been building for weeks. Caitlin Clark going at it with an assistant coach on the bench. Caitlin was visibly furious. Caitlin Clark and Brianne, January, getting heated on the sidelines again. That lady in the middle seat, she's the one who grabbed Caitlin while she tried to celebrate last year. This is Brianne January and Stephanie White with the Sunday. Remember where you came from. This is where you belong, and you can go back. If you're a real fan, type CC 100% in the comments right now and support the biggest star in women's basketball. Get your damn hands off me. Hey, you just have a bunch of mean girls. Targeting Caitlin Clark. The Fever won the game, but nobody cared about the final score after the buzzer. Everyone was focused on the sideline drama. During timeouts, cameras caught Caitlin arguing with the coaching staff, waving her hands and trying to explain her vision on the floor. There is just too much grabbing, yanking, and screaming going on. There's way too much of that happening over there in Indiana. I don't see it with superstars anywhere else. But the Indiana Fever, they need to make it a show. They need to prove to Caitlin Clark, you are not good enough. We don't want you here. Stephanie White kept responding, pointing and talking back, trying to settle things down, but Caitlin wasn't having it. Then came the moment that every basketball fan noticed. After hitting a massive shot and walking to the bench, Caitlin gave quick high fives to teammates, then appeared to shove past Stephanie White without eye contact. No smile, no acknowledgement, just pure frustration. Stephanie White was seen grabbing Caitlin by the arm. Caitlin Clark saying, "Get your hands off me." If Caitlin Clark isn't allowed to play her way, this team will lose by 15 or 20. Fans immediately started saying the same thing online. She is finished with this staff. Is obvious. Caitlin is tired of being restrained because when she plays free, the Fever offense transforms completely. The pace picks up, the ball moves, and transition opportunities suddenly explode. Defenders panic, and Caitlin looks like the generational talent we all expected. But when the offense slows into endless half-court sets, that's when the anger boils over. Caitlin Clark doing what Caitlin Clark does, hyping up the crowd and getting the crowd rowdy. And here she comes. Here comes the coach, grabbing her. These coaches are angry because she is not running this offense. She's running the Caitlin Clark system. I will be the most dynamic playmaker this league has ever seen. And it's not close. That is the system I am running. You are grabbing a girl when she's celebrating, grabbing Caitlin Clark. Who the hell do you think you are? And fans noticed something else that made the situation even worse. Every single time Caitlin started heating up, she'd suddenly find herself back on the bench. The crowd would roar. She'd hit a deep three or create momentum. Then boom, a substitution. You could see her body language change, possession after possession. At one point, cameras caught Caitlin passionately explaining her side while coaches talked over her. The look on her face said everything. This was not just a simple disagreement anymore. This looked like a superstar who knows exactly what the team needs but feels completely ignored. Honestly, a lot of fans are taking her side because the statistics are impossible to ignore. When Caitlin controls the tempo, the Fever look dangerous. When she sits, everything slows down. That is why social media exploded after fans realized Indiana was getting outscored while Clark rested. People started asking, why are you limiting the one player who changes everything? This comes right after Caitlin delivered one of her most electric performances. Just days ago, she dragged Indiana back from a massive deficit with logo threes, big assists, and pure energy. Fans thought that performance would finally silence logo threes, huge assists, and pure takeover energy. Fans thought that performance would finally silence. Critics wanted to hand her the keys to the franchise. Instead, the drama just got worse. Even post-game, reactions fueled the fire. Fans wanted massive praise, but the coaching staff avoided giving her credit. That added more gasoline to an already exploding situation. Now, the internet is split completely in half. One side says this is what elite competitors look like. They are emotional. They argue for greatness. They demand excellence and push coaches to win. Others say the Fever locker room is becoming toxic. Visible tension is starting to hurt the team. But nobody can deny this. Caitlin Clark is not following. She is not falling in line anymore. If this tension grows, Indiana has a massive problem coming. This no longer feels like a simple coaching disagreement. It feels like a real power struggle now. $8 tickets. The arena holds 17,000. They only had 14,000. At the start of last year, seats were selling for $50, $60, and $70 apiece. We see the moves by Amber Cox and Kelly Krauskopf. They are trying to promote the Fever. They are not even using Caitlin. Ticket sales are dropping. The shocking part is not the arguments. It is the fact that Caitlin Clark looks exhausted from fighting these battles in every single direction. She entered the league carrying historic pressure. Think about it. Sold-out arenas and record-breaking ratings. National attention every single night. Despite all that, she is still producing some truly insane stat lines. 20-point games, double-digit assists, deep logo threes, highlight plays every single night for the fans. Somehow, the drama around the Fever overshadows everything she does on the court. Fans believe Caitlin knows the truth. Just watch her reactions very carefully now. Last season, Caitlin would smile through frustration. She would laugh things off and stay patient with everyone. But lately, that patience is gone. The sideline interactions tell the whole story to the world. Stephanie White is talking and pointing, but Caitlin's face says you still do not get it yet. That is why the clip of her rushing past Stephanie White exploded all over the internet. Fans did not just see frustration. They saw distance. A player emotionally disconnecting from her team. Honestly, some Fever fans are starting to panic. If your superstar tunes out the staff, things spiral. What makes this crazier is the timing. The Fever should build on Caitlin's momentum right now. The league is literally booming because of her presence on the floor every night. Ticket sales, ratings, and social media engagement all jump when Caitlin Clark is playing basketball. But instead of talking about her greatness, it becomes about conflict. Fans noticed another burning detail. Whenever Caitlin shows emotion or hypes the crowd, somebody on the bench immediately steps in. Cameras catch coaches grabbing her arm, stopping celebrations, or pulling her aside during emotional moments. Fans absolutely hate it. They believe that fire is exactly what makes Caitlin such a special player. You do not tell a superstar competitor to calm down while she is taking over the game. You let her lead. You let her ignite the building. That swagger is why people watch. That fire is why millions of new fans started watching women's basketball in the first place. Other basketball stars are allowed to scream, celebrate, and show emotion constantly without any issue. But when Caitlin does it, people act uncomfortable. Suddenly, there is criticism and management. Someone wants to manage the moment. The "she is done" narrative has exploded online. Fans believe Caitlin feels boxed in, and that is where things get dangerous for Indiana. Superstars eventually reach a breaking point. If a player believes the system is limiting them, if they believe their voice is not respected, the frustration stops staying behind closed doors. It leaks onto the court, the bench, and into body language or post-game interviews. We are witnessing it now. Scary part? Caitlin is still producing despite all of this. She is still dropping huge stat lines and controlling games in ways never seen before. Imagine what she would look like in a system built entirely around her many strengths. Indiana has not fully unleashed her yet. And if this tension keeps growing like this every day, as the friction with Stephanie White grows, the fan pressure is only getting louder. Social media is already exploding with critics blaming the coaching staff after every single game. Every substitution is scrutinized. Every timeout is dissected. Any hint of a rift becomes another viral clip. Right now, one thing is certain. The bond between Caitlin Clark and her Fever coaching staff is under an intense microscope. And after that tense moment where she shoved past Stephanie White without a single look, fans think the message was loud and clear. Caitlin Clark is done being controlled. If Indiana doesn't fix this situation fast, the biggest superstar women's basketball has ever seen might completely stop trusting those around her. And here is the million-dollar question. Is Caitlin Clark being stifled by the Indiana coaching staff, or is this just the weight of being a global superstar?